Hey everyone, and welcome back to Dark Forest for the next episode in our Let's Play series. So we're just on our way down to the sell everything container with another load of logs. So we'll get these sold and then we'll head back. We've got another 3 or 4 stacks of logs that are already cut that we need to get loaded up and sold, so we can start getting those cleared out the way. And then we need to cut down a few more trees at the back of the sheep pastures so we can get those extended and get that area of the farm all finished off. So we'll get those unstrapped and we'll get these sold. So 59,509 plus a few more, another 5,825. I can't get in my truck. I think I've got super strength on again. There we go, another 1,987. So we're up to 176,356. I say we've got another probably 2 full loads of the trailer of cut logs to get sold. And then we can get a few more trees cut down. Right, so these one stack of logs that we had there has been loaded up. So the next one is this big pile here, which is probably a trailer load in itself. So if we swing the truck round, as you can see, our grass extension has now gone into the first growth stage. So we've got a nice big grass field there now. That should be ready to cut for October, November time. So nice autumn cut of silage on that field, so we can get some more silage bales. We jump in the Tiger Cat. I have recently updated the Tiger Cats as well. So the issue I was having with the one we've got the harvester head on has now been fixed, so we shouldn't have that problem with the extremely wobbly head. So there's no need to replace that. The downside is it's reset all the speeds. So I manually adjusted the XML files to increase this work speed a little bit, and that's now reset, and I haven't gone back in to change those. So we are down to a slow 3 mile/h speed, and they are working a little bit more stable. I've also had to change the grab because the one I was previously using doesn't now fully close up like this one does, which made it impossible to pick up single logs. So I changed to this one, which has got the thumb on it, which seems to be working reasonably well. So we'll get these all loaded up and get this load sold as well. And then we've got a few more logs over where the tree harvester is to load up. And then we've got another couple of stacks, 2 or 3 stacks of logs the other side of the trees. Just in between the trees towards the left hand side, you might be able to see them. But what I'll probably do is, as the tree harvester's over this way, we'll probably clear the trees I want to remove first from the back of the sheep pastures and work our way towards those stacks on that side. Okay, I think this will be the last few logs all fit on for this load. We've still got quite a few left over here. I might be able to squeeze a few more on, but it's getting to that point now where it does start to get a little bit tricky and you are at risk of tipping the whole thing over. I think we'll just try and squeeze these ones on, and hopefully they'll sit down reasonably well. Try and straighten that one up a little bit, which is slightly overhanging. So there's always the risk that especially this, you do things like that and it ends up flipping the whole trailer over. Well, there we go. I think that should do. So yeah, there's a few more there, probably another bunk's worth. And then I say we've got loads more trees over that other side as well. So we should have quite a decent amount of money when we've done all that. And that should give us plenty of money to get a bit more work done on the actual farmyard itself. And really try and get some progress done on this yard or this area, so we can then look to move on to the next part. Let's see how much we get for this load. Now I think I'm going to go back and get one more load done. We'll get those sold, and I think I'm possibly going to look into getting a wood chipper, and then as we cut down the next load of trees, we can just put them straight into a wood chipper and get a nice big pile up here ready for winter. That's another 41,775 for that load. And last bunk to be sold, and we get another 18,591. So we're now up to 236,750. So it's not too bad. I think we need quite a lot more than that to do everything I want to do at the actual yard though. It does seem like quite a lot of money. It's not going to go very far. So yeah, I'm going to go and get as many of the other logs we've got cut loaded up. See if we can get another full trailer load and get those sold. Okay, so we have the third load of logs. This is not all of the logs we've got cut. There's still all the offcuts, the shorter top pieces, and there's another stack of logs. Not enough to fill another trailer, but there's still a fair few that we've got lying around. So we'll get these ones sold. We'll head back and then we'll make a start on clearing some of the trees behind the sheep pastures to try and get that area finished off. So I've marked out an area where I want to bring the sheep pastures back to, but that load takes up to 310,321 in total. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just park the truck up here out the way for a bit. So just over here, just by where the tree harvester is, if I can find it, there should be a line in the ground. Where's it gone? A bit further back here. There it is. So I've just marked out this rough line that goes across the back of the sheep pastures. So what I want to do is just clear the trees up to this line, so going this way, and then we can just bring the fences back for the sheep pastures. That will possibly give us the space then that we could potentially get... Oh, I've got a log inside the sheep pasture. I don't know how that managed to get in there. We could then potentially get a different open pasture put in further back and increase how many sheep we can keep as well in the future. But yeah, the first job will be to just get these trees cleared. We'll do 6 meter logs. I'll just double check we are still 6 meters. Yep. So we'll start getting some trees cleared and hopefully get all this area cleared off as well. Get these logs loaded up and sold. And then we've got a lot of money then to get a bit more work done on the actual farmyard itself. Get some more fencing in. I would also like to try and get a tree planter at some point so we can start getting some of those trees planted back in along the track. And also around some of the yard area as well. So yeah, plenty to do. It's just the time it takes to do the trees which is slowing us down now. Although we're making good money from the trees still, it does take a while to clear all these trees out of the way. And there are obviously quicker ways we could do this in terms of like just getting a tree devourer and completely delete the trees, but I'm not 100% keen on doing that. Obviously we would be losing a lot of money as well going that way. The other option is an auto load logging trailer, which would obviously help speed up loading the logs. But again, it's not something I tend to use. I don't think I've used a auto load logging trailer all that much. And then the other option we've got is the mobile utilities mod, where we could just place the wood sell point down next to the stack of logs, and then we could just sell the logs direct, which would save us quite a bit of time. Again, it's not something I've done before. Would be a time-saving mod to use, but yeah, not sure if I would go and use that. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that. Be interesting to hear. So I'll continue. I'm going to continue getting these trees cleared. So try and get all these cleared today, just so we can get this area finished off. Because I really do want to start trying to get this kind of yard progressed to the point where we can start to look to move on to the next area of the map I want to work on. Okay, so we've got the last 3 trees we need to cut down just to get this area cleared. Then we can get the logs loaded up we've cut and get those sold. Then we can come through and get the fencing extended for the sheep pastures. I'll probably add a little bit more fencing around the grass field as well while we've got a bit more money. We're currently still 75 in the one pasture, 50 in the other, but the next new birth should be next month, so we'll be back up to 100 in the first pasture, so we'll get those transferred into the second one. And I think then we may have to clear some more space, because I think the next 2 loads of sheep are due to reproduce in the same month, so that will be 50 sheep, which we won't have the space for if we only move 25, so we don't lose that reproduction cycle. Might be worth looking into moving another 25 over into the other one, if we can, or possibly getting another one of those pastures in the space at the back of what we've cleared, if we can fit one in. But that is the last tree to cut, so we'll get this one chopped up and then we can start loading up the next trailer load of logs to take to sell. But I think for this area and around this farmyard, that'll be all the trees that we'll cut in this area for now. So next time we do any more forestry work, it'll be in a different area. Possibly start looking to clear the area for the next yard, or even to get the spinnery built, which I did mention I want to try and do, and I think it'll be worth doing soon, as we are starting to produce quite a bit of wool each month. I don't think we're quite producing enough just yet to keep a spinnery running all the time throughout each month. I still think we're a little bit short, but we shouldn't be too far off getting the wool we need to keep one going. So yeah, we've got quite a few logs to get loaded up. We've got this stack here, a couple more stacks there as well, and then those last ones we've just put in down that end. So I'll get all those loaded up and we can get those sold. Once that area is completely cleared, then we can get the fencing sorted. Okay, so these are the last few logs we'll probably fit on for this load. That's all the big logs cleared out the way, so it's just all the offcuts and short pieces that we need to clear out the way. So I'll probably just get those moved over into the area where we're not going to be putting the fencing, just so they're out the way for now. As you can see, we've still got this big stack of logs over here, and loads more offcuts as well to be loaded up and sold. That's something we don't need to do just yet. Main thing was just getting this area cleared, which we've almost done. So we'll go and get this load sold. I'll get the shorter pieces and all those ones down that end, or probably just moved over the other side of that line, and then we can get the fencing put in for the sheep pastures. Okay, so let's see how much we get for this load. This probably takes up close to 370,000. The 46,317 for the first bit. Takes up to 356. There's another 12,809, and we've got the last few, so 369. So yeah, we'll probably around about 375,000. Get these last few sold. Oh, there we go. 373,877. We're up to now. So I'll head back. I'll get all that area cleared and then we can sort out the fencing, and we'll do as much as we can around the farmyard. Okay, so I've cleared out most of the short logs out of that area. As you can still see, we've still got a few logs there to be loaded up and sold, but now we can get this sheep pasture finished off. So we'll go over into build mode. You can see the line now where I've marked it off, where I want to bring this fence to. I guarantee there's probably still a few logs I've missed in there. If we go first into decoration and fences, we'll get the split rail fence we're using, which is so many fences now. This one here by Mac Trucker 921. I'll enable the snap mode so we can try and keep that straight. And I'll bring it to just in front of that line. And then we'll put this all the way across. Now this is the one where it gets tricky, is to know exactly where to bring it to. So actually what I might do is do this bit first. Try and get that as straight as possible. It's going to be tricky to see where that line is. Yeah, these trees are in the way. Can't quite see if that's straight and then where I'm actually coming to. And then doing it this way around, I can't actually see where that line is on the ground. Does that look straight? Nope, that kicks off at an angle. This is why I really dislike doing fences. Especially when you're having to pay for them. You can just easily burn through your money because it's so difficult to get them right. So it looks like it's kicking off at an angle as well. Yeah, it's so difficult to see. If I do a shorter section first. Oh, there's a bit of fence I've missed. Wonder why that was snapping at a weird angle then. Right, so that looks straight. Now if I just do that last bit to there, and then we should be able to just connect that up to that bit. That looks straight enough. And now we can get rid of the fences in the middle. It looks like I've got that log there I still need to get rid of on the couple there as well. I'm going to get rid of all the fences in the middle, so it's like one big open sheep pasture now. And the other thing I want to do as well is underneath here it's all the forest grown texture, which when you get from a distance looks like that. So I am going to probably waste loads of money doing this. Is actually put grass texture underneath, just inside the actual pasture. And now this is where it gets really expensive, when you need to put the meadow grass back in. And we'll go with the biggest brush size. And we'll just fill this in with some nice luscious meadow grass for our sheep to graze on. Unfortunately, they can't actually graze on it because it's not set up for animal grazing. There we go, that looks a little bit better. I'll get rid of those logs, and what I'll do as well is we'll just get the dirt texture. I'll tidy up this little bit. Just around here, and tidy up in front of these troughs where I've accidentally gone a bit too crazy with the grass texture. And I'll do the same on this one as well, just get rid of some of this grass around there. I think that bit's okay. Now we just go back to meadow grass, and then we'll just add a little bit around there. Need to also put a bit more dirt texture down there as well. And then we'll just bring that out so it's kind of a bit of a worn section there where the sheep will all coming out. And we'll do the same on this one as well. And then just add a little bit more around those areas. Turn that one to circle and just make it a little bit more patchy around there. And then what I want to do is down the middle, which I think is roughly around about there. Now I'm going to put a couple of trees in, just so the sheep, but they've got somewhere to get some shade and shelter. Put one there, and then we'll just tidy up around the base of that. And then probably add a few bushes and stuff. And obviously the sheep won't come up to this bit because the line for the sheep pastures is kind of right down that middle section. I'll just tidy that little bit up there as well. Probably put another tree in a bit further back. Maybe this smaller elm. Somewhere in line with that one. Just a little bit further back. A bit there. Oh, then just looks like the sheep have got somewhere to get a bit of shelter and a bit of shade on those hot sunny days. Right, so that's the sheep pasture sorted. I'm going to go through, I'm just going to time lapse the rest of it now. And I'm going to probably do some changes around this area. Get rid of this field, tidy this area up a little bit as well. And probably put a bit more fencing around that grass field. Okay, so I've done a bit more decorating, as you may have seen during the time lapse. Spent quite a lot of money, especially on purely decorative stuff. It's not great, but we are making quite a lot of money from the forestry, and there's still loads of trees to sell, loads of trees to clear. So there's still a lot more I want to do here, and we just need to get a bit more money to finish that. So one other thing I want to put in is, I'll just get rid of this grid. There we go. So this is pretty much just like a horse training area, but we can keep a horse in here, so it gives us a little bit of overflow as well. So that's just the fenceless husbandry's open horse pasture. So we can access the water and feed trough this side. So I'm possibly thinking of putting another one of these in next to this, and then remove that fence so it's a bit longer, and then that way we've got a little bit more space. We can just put a horse into this section. So what I want to put here is like a corral, so it'll be purely decorative, but it'll just look like we've actually got somewhere to train horses, break horses in, so we can make it start to make it look like it's more of a actual proper horse ranch. So the way I'm going to do that is, if I can open these doors. So if we just drop that off, I'm going to use the plough to mark out the area, so we can then kind of make a circle. We'll get our plough connected up. I've tried this several ways, and this is the best way I've found being able to get a reasonable circle out of doing this. So what I need to do as well is this one. I want to make a fairly big one. So what? Might need to just come over a little bit. So you can see the tire marks, we're kind of getting a circle there. So I want to try and bring that to in line with that fence. So we need to come back a little bit, or yeah, I need to go over a little bit closer to this section. So I want to try and bring the edge of it up to about here. Might be a little bit too far. See how that looks this time round. Yeah, I think that's okay there. So if I drop that down, turn on allow create fields, and then if I keep that on full lock, and then just go round in a circle, and this will just mark out our little corral. We've got like a slight training area. And so this is purely decorative, will serve no function to us. I mean, technically we could ride the horse around in a circle in it. Looks like it's just gone off slightly. So this is difficult to do to get a decent circle. And now we've gone off a little bit far that way. So yeah, I don't think that's quite worked. It looks like it's a little bit bigger over this end. So if we just go into build mode, and I'm just going to delete that one, and then we'll just try it again. So you really need to get your mark, keep it on full lock, and try and not let it go off. So I've tried this many ways, just by eyeing it, using the paint mode to try and paint a circle, and then following that with the fencing. Okay, so I'm going to leave that. I think that's looks fairly round. It's a little bit further over than I would like, but I think that'll do. So just turn off allow create fields on that. Get that stopped there. We'll turn that off because it does get through the fuel quite quick. Now if we go back into build mode, decoration and fences, we'll put a small gate in where we've got that flat bit there. So try and get that sort of in the middle of open inwards, and then we'll just go around with the fencing and just try and keep it on the outer edge of this. So it's not going to be perfect, but it's the best way I've found. Just take that one back a little bit. I'll try and keep it so there's no middle section in there. And then it's just a case of working around this, trying to keep it on the edge of where we've ploughed in as best as we can. And there we go. I say it's not perfect, but it gives us a nice or fairly rough circle. So if we now go back into painting, we'll just go in with the dirt texture, change that to a circle, and then we'll just paint the middle bit just to get rid of that edge of that field as well, or the ploughed section. Make sure we've got rid of all the ploughed bit, and there we go. I then use the dark dirt, load that down and just go around in a circle, add in some dirty patches just to break up that one solid texture in there. So there we go, there's our round corral, so we can do some horse training. And we'll tidy up the bit, so we've got a little bit there where we need to get to the gate. And then the rest of this we can just paint in with the grass texture. And what I also may do is I did take out the wind turbine or the wind pump, so I might put that back in this corner here. We'll drop that down there, and then we can put the water trough back in, which I think is under buildings container, which is this one. And then we'll just do the bit of painting in front of that so we can get some access to that. I'm just going to bring that grass texture back down to just around there for now. And what I'll do with this bit, I don't know yet. We'll may just leave it as a grass area. I may add a bit more to it in the future. I think that'll do. Now if I just go in with the meadow grass, I really wish the there was more like grass texture you could paint, a bit like what there is on East Vineland. You could paint like the different lengths of grass, and then they don't grow beyond that length as well, so you could have a bit more variation in the paintable grass textures. It'd be great as well if they weren't so expensive. Okay, so I think we'll leave that there for now. So I've still got this bit to do. I'll need to get rid of that pile of stones. We've replaced that shed. I'm possibly thinking as well, at some point we'll get rid of the grain bins from this yard, because we won't need them. We'll have a proper grain bin set up somewhere else. But we've got a little bit more done on there. So that's just for a decorative thing, so it looks like we've got somewhere the horses can actually be trained. So yeah, there's still plenty more to do. We're down to 64,000, so I'm going to leave it there for the time being. Now if we go and get one of our horses from here, which is another area that needs tidying up, I can actually get on one. There we go, we'll take Jester. And we'll go and try the corral. Ooh. Okay, floating horse. The horses and fences don't do very well. They really don't like getting too close to fences. They either get stuck or they go flying up in the air. Well, there you go, we've got somewhere we can train our horses. So as long as you don't get too close to the fence, you're alright. And then if we go, I think the way to get them into this one, if I get off the horse here, it should put it into that pasture note. There we go. So that one's now in that stable technically, so we could put a horse in there. Now that does give us a little bit of overflow as well, so if we do need a bit more space, we can put some horses in there, we can feed them, give them water. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there for today. I hope you have enjoyed this. It's been a bit of a weird episode, but I really want to try and get this area completely finished off so we can move on. But it's just, as you can see, how much money we've spent just doing what we've done today. It's not going to be a quick process. So yeah, hopefully we can get some more done. So I want to try and get that shed replaced. The grain bins I'm not too fussed about moving just yet. They're not in the way, but we will get this all tidied up. I really want to start getting this finished off so we can start moving on. The ranch house is still not being released yet, which I want to change to. But that's been in testing, so hopefully it won't be too long and then we can get this area finished off as well. But yeah, we'll leave it there for today. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. And if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, then please do consider subscribing. We've got more Farm Simulator 22 content coming up with this series and also the live streams. So again, a big thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.